You're the reason why I love you so. Hey, I don't want you to go. You're the girl who makes me feel so good. Let me get my notes. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. We don't want that daggone copyright. So, speaking of copyright, I was looking at Maddie's live the other day when she was preparing for the Real Housewives. I'm sorry, when she was preparing for this Queen Supreme Court last night, and she was saying that YouTube kept hitting her with the copyright for her own damn song. I said, oh my God. Okay. So, let's do this. Hey guys, hey, this is Nay. Follow me on IG, Periscope, Twitter, Spreaker, and support me on Patreon at NayRob on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment respectfully, and subscribe. Now, let's talk about the Queen's Supreme Court. Redemption. Guys, redemption. You hear me? You know, well, first let me say this. Kaya came on about 8:30 last night on YouTube, and she was saying she was drunk as Booty Coo or Cooter Brown, because I told y'all, I think it depends on where you from. Depends on, you know, where you... I'm trying to get this bush together. This thing be wacky. But it depends on what you say. Like, up in the DMV, we say Booty Coo. Down here, y'all say Cooter Brown. And I don't know who the hell Cooter Brown is. But she came on about 8:30, and she was like, I'm drunker than Cooter Brown. And then that was it. I didn't see her come back. If you guys know where the link is for it, just please put it below, and I'll do a recap on Kaya's. Okay, but back to it. Redemption. Let me tell y'all something. I forgot about how much I liked Shekinah on the Queen Supreme Court. You know, I forgot about her because she was actually one of the first hosts, and what messed her up that she was on there with what, I don't know, Lil Mo. I said she drank a bottle of lean. Y'all said that she, you know, was high. I don't know. You know, I told you that daggone Latoya Luckett or Latavia Roberson, I don't know, and Lil Mo shared the same bottle of lean, and, you know, they was both dead, just like zombies at the damn show. I'm like, you could have stayed in your bed for all this that you contributed to the show. So, excuse me, guys, my voice is a little scratchy, but Maddie brought her back on the show because she wanted her to redeem herself, because I guess people had contacted Maddie and was like, okay, don't bring Shekinah on there, blah, 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 because people wasn't feeling her, right? But I like Shekinah, and I believe that the reason why people wasn't feeling her was because Lil Mo just dragged the entire show down, and because Lil Mo and Shekinah was, you know, total opposite, I think that put a bad taste in people's mouth in regards to Shekinah. So Maddie, being the beautiful Libra that she is, allowed Shekinah to come back and redeem herself, and she did. So I took a couple of notes that I wanted to talk about. I said before about Maddie and Tokyo Tony. What I liked about those two together was that they were thick women, and they both, like, what they wore, their makeup, their clothes, played off each other very well on camera. I want to say also, even though Shekinah is small, from what I understand, Maddie is about 5'4", something like that. I think Shekinah's like 4'11". Maybe because they're both thick, that it looked very just as good as Tokyo Vanity, and it looked just as good as Tokyo Vanity and Maddie did last night. You know, they just looked very well together. You didn't have a thick person stand next to or sit next to a really bony person or a really small person. Like, it was just extreme how some of her people, because Maddie's a BBW, and then you have this person that's barely like, a featherweight sitting next to her. It just looks awkward almost, and they look good, like sometimes, like when my issue with Tim Bay was Maddie's on there looking beautiful, and y'all tried to, tell me about Tim Bay, that Tim Bay was a straight man and he was in character and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it was, it did not look well sitting next to Maddie. Maddie looked gorgeous. Tim Bay had on, he just looked slovenly to me. I'm sorry. I've seen his Instagram and he looks much better on his Instagram. But that character that he was on Maddie's platform was over the top. And on top of that, if he was a straight man, he had went really, really hard. Actually, well, people was upset with Tim Bay and how hard he went on, what's the lady's name? I forget the lady name, but he went really hard in the after show on TS. What's her name? Cookie Tookie. That's her name. He went really hard on Cookie Tookie, and he did it in front of Miss Mary, and a lot of people were very, very upset. They found it quite disrespectful. And when Maddie said, don't do this, Tim Bay still went for it. So I don't suppose that Tim Bay will be back anytime soon. So speaking of that, also, what I found out about the after show was that Maddie says that she has a lot of people contacting her, asking her to come down. Like, she don't have to reach out to nobody, to ask nobody to come, be on the show. She got people actually like waiting in line to be on the show with her. And what I loved about Maddie, the beautiful Libra that she is that she allowed Shekinah to come back. And the thing about those two and their combination, and let me say, Maddie had that bush on. I love it with the bush, with the tiger print or the leopard print dress, fitting all them curves and everything, child. And Shekinah had on like this platinum blonde wig with these red lips and these red nails. Oh my gosh, she was killing it. With like this silver grayish bodysuit. Now you can look at Shekinah. Shekinah always looked like a ham to me, not because she's like I don't know. I think, because her body is just so compact. All that thickness is just so compact. She just always looked like a ham. But they look great sitting next to each other. And that's what I love. The visuals of it, the lightings of it. Maddie kept talking about, that she was hot. Shekinah was like, I'm hot. Shekinah was drinking. She was like, I'm not really a drinker. But towards the end of it, she was like, I'm through with this. I'm done with this. That's another thing that I love about Shekinah. Shekinah and Maddie, I think, are about the same age. I think they have a respect for each other. Another golden ticket with Shekinah is this. Shekinah is not Kaya. I'm not saying that she's Kaya. I'm not saying she's replacing Kaya. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's always good to have a difference of opinion there, and you stand firm in your opinion. I said this before about Shekinah, and I will say this again. Shekinah represents the regular old country girl. And I love that. The regular old country hood chick that believe in God, that's just trying to make it and do the right thing by her children. I don't know if she kind of have kids. And her hood, the man she with, she's the regular girl. And people throw up the fact that Shekinah shouldn't really be talking about nobody or judging nobody because she just got in trouble not in trouble, but she just put her business out there about being with an abusive partner. That to me is what makes Shekinah special. That to me is what makes her real, because people want to see your humanity. People want to see your realness. People want to know that they're not the only ones that's going through problems where they're in love with the wrong man. That's what makes Shekinah so likable. And a lot of people feel like she ghetto, she blah, blah, blah. She may be. And I've told you all this about lovely Mimi. I've said this about Shekinah. Who else? A couple of, people where people stand in judgment of some of these people on reality shows. Now, I don't know everybody. I'm not going to say this about everybody. But what I will say about this is that when it comes down to that, it's lovely Mimi, and I'm not just saying it because she's from the DMV. She might be loud, she might be ratchet, she might be ghetto, she might be all those things that you talking about. But guess what? She is a business owner, and until you can catch up, I'm gonna need you to go over there and have a seat. Because you can stay over there in your trailer park or wherever it is that you live, okay? I don't have a problem. We all got to live somewhere. You know, I've just been blessed that right now I'm in a good place because I grew up in the hood too. But what I'm saying is, just because you're more articulate in a place, but you sitting over there and you scripping and scraping your pennies together, don't mean that you better than this girl. Just because you speak better than her. Just because you're more articulate. Remember that. Sometimes you can learn a lesson from people who you would never guess. From the people that you would consider the bottom or the classless. You can learn a lesson from anybody and anything. That's what I love about Shekinah, because Shekinah is also a business owner. And she just got her GED not too long ago, something like that. Come on now. How you own a business before you get your GED and you have a problem with that? People need to come off the bullshit. People need to, okay, let me get back to the notes. Okay. So, one of my YouTube sisters, Mrs. Underscore, was like, okay, Maddie should consider pre-taping her show. But Maddie did a clarification on Sunday when she was doing the preparation for her live on Monday. She was like, no, I don't want to do a pre-taping. I'll leave that for the people to the next level, because I do believe that she's trying to make her platform or turn the Queen Supreme Court into a talk show. It's coming because I see it in the making. But she also said that she'd like to be on the spot with topics that happen. Because if she pre-tapes the show and then the next day something happened, they can't talk about it. They can't just randomly put things on the docket, which I understand. So that made me understand why she didn't pre-tape. Because I'm like, Maddie, you be having so many problems with your visuals sometimes, with your audio, with your buffering. You just be having so many problems. You might as well just pre-tape the show. Either way, we're going to look. But when she broke down, she was like, no, I want to be able to provide on the spot current events, right? So she then talked about what I liked about Maddie's show that I've been noticing, and I don't think I mentioned before, is that Maddie's going beyond the BS. She's not just talking about celebrity news or celebrity gossip, or, you know, she's not just talking about BS. She's talking about things that matter, topics that need to be addressed in the community, in society, and I love that about her. You know, not everybody's doing that, but Maddie is doing that, and I commend her about that. And I see her trying to take it to a next level, and I'm sure, if she didn't say it last night, I'm sure she said it Sunday, where she said that the internet is what she's going to focus on. And remember, I kind of ding Maddie when it comes down to her not taking the Queen Supreme Court seriously. She probably does, but because she's such a big name now, that her brand is outside the scope of the internet. That girl does TV. You hear me? Like the Star After Show. She worked RuPaul. She does things. But she said, I'm sure she did correct me, y'all, but she said that the internet is what brings her money, and that's what she was going to focus on. And I was glad to hear that, because I see the Queen Supreme Court going so much bigger than what it is, okay? Then I like the way she's trying to incorporate in her audience. She got this titty twerk challenge going on. I think that is just hilarious. She's incorporating in the funny memes. I think that's hilarious. And, you know, some people are like, oh, that's old. When I was seeing the comments on the Periscope, because I watch her on Periscope. I don't watch her on YouTube, but, live. And then she uploaded to YouTube. But she incorporated in funny memes. Some people was like, oh, this is old. Who cares if it's old? She's just trying to put in variety, and I respect it. The final thing I want to talk about is the producer Craig. I like him. He's smart. He's articulate, and I think he's going to be key to Maddie getting to the next level, because just like Wendy Williams had the 2 Normans on the side, well, now she only got one because she fired the other one because he was the one spilling all her tea about her husband cheating on her with that lady down there down the street that's like one house down from her. So she fired one of the Normans, but she still got the other Norman there, you know. And sometimes you need that person on the side that you can bounce off of and to keep you focused. And he put some things on the docket, like some sports news, I think. Like, God, I forgot what it was. Did it have something to do with kneeling or something? It was. But it expanded the brand. Maddie's brand is expanding past bullshit. And that is a great thumbs up for her, okay? So, and then the last cute thing that I thought, right? The thing that I really, really thought why I love Shekinah and Maddie together is because, like I said, they're about the same age. They can share some of the same experiences to a certain level, because Maddie is who she is and Shekinah is who she is. But when they were playing, when Maddie was twerking and Shekinah pretended like she was behind her, and they was like squeezing on each other, and Shekinah was like, I'm not lesbian, sister. I thought it was funny. Having an open mind, being fun, being able to go outside the box and not be so, oh, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'm not going to do this, you know, like you almost stuck up. That's what we loved about Tiffany Pollard. That's what we loved about her so much, you know. And remember, I was like, I love Tiffany Pollard, and then after that I love Tokyo Vanity. I take it back. I forgot about Shekinah. Shekinah totally redeemed herself. I hope they give Shekinah a permanent seat, or I hope Maddie gives her a permanent seat, because I'd like to see the same person. I really would. But this is getting hot. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to stop in the spell. So remember this: the same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves.